So now it is.
So JJ and I tried multiple times to get started, and then the issue was JJ.
We were on the wrong thing.
Yeah, I was trying to use something that was completely related. So I'm gonna get rid of these files that we had here real quick. Oh, I realized it's a directory. Yeah, let's do that. So you and I had. I'm asking you never ended up creating the project plan for the 4-way soccer game. You and I talked in advanced voice.
Soccer spelled wrong.
Please create check into JJ was calling out, by the way, that there's typos in there, and for adults that don't know, those typos don't matter that much when you're feeding into a model because they can predict reasonably that is a typo, and so they can figure out that soccer with 2 R's is what it is, and please typed wrong is also what it is. So not necessarily best.
I think I said place.
You know what the funny thing is, JJ? This doesn't improve your spelling when you're like writing an email to somebody or typing a message or writing a document, but it certainly helps you move really fast to not have to fix it because the AI is just smart enough to know it. So I'm not making any fixing those typos, but what I am going to do is go back up and give folks some context. So JJ and I were using advanced voice mode, and if you haven't ever seen it after the fact, we're in ChatGPT. We wanted to talk about this game. So in this case, you can see we want to brainstorm a 2D video game that we can make that operate within a browser. My son is here with me. So this was me talking. So this is ChatGPT. This is you and me, right? And if we just keep on going back, we can actually, if we wanted to, I believe you can play this back, but we're not concerned with that today. So we went this lengthy back and forth, at the end of which JJ and I had kind of a set of rules for a game. So here's the recap. Or gameplay. 2D, top-down, retro-style soccer game with 4 teams. Each team has 3 players plus 1 goalie, and each team defends one side of a square field. And then we wanted 3 different types of game modes that we'll work towards over time. So we'll start with sort of a simpler one. And then so the first one was 1 ball. When a game is scored, the entire thing resets with a ball on a random spot. Medium is 4 balls in play. As soon as a soccer ball is scored, it's like dropped back in after the goal. And then chaos mode, where all balls are reset as soon as one ball is scored. So you can choose which. You're smiling. You thought that was crazy.
Like when one person scores right before the other person is about to kick, the whole thing resets. And they just they're like, no.
It's like chaos mode. It's like when that guy, what's his name, with the knuckles and his rings?
Papa?
Thanos?
It says the Papa.
I was thinking more Thanos when he just goes and things disappear.
Like,
right?
Snap. Snap them back into existence.
Just like that.
But in a random place.
And then we said we wanted player controls that use both the mouse and keyboard because this is a PC game. We wanted to have it use colors come from like countries' colors. So the player will choose their own team colors, and then the AI team, so the non-playing, what are they called? The NPCs?
Yeah.
So the NPCs will get picked from there. And then we wanted this crazy idea of recording the games so that we could watch them afterwards. Are you making fun of me?
No,
He's making fun of me. What do we say about that we're tired? What happens?
No,
Okay.
I'm not tired.
Good job. Okay, so continuing, we thought it'd be cool to record the games gameplay in some sort of like simple, lightweight format we could revisit later, because we might use those to help reinform the development of the game itself. So the non-playing characters, the rules can change. So we better to record the information than not record the information. And then we thought maybe it'd be interesting to share gameplay with other people, and they could replay it after the fact because it's just programmatic at that point. And then I talked to them for a while about sort of my preferences for tech stack. The only thing that I think matters to JJ here is this game engine concept. So the rest of this is kind of normal. I've actually never developed a game before beyond, what was the other game I created?
That HPT game to get 30% off or 50% off something on the AOK website.
A-OK.shop. And there's a game where it's kind of like a blend of...
it's a mix of Snake, not Snake.
Pac-Man.
It's a mix of Pac-Man.
It has some things from Snake in it, right? So I built that game with like no experience using any game library.
Pac-Man, Snake,
Mhm.
and Some game where you bounce around.
Kind of like Pong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that game.
Or no.
Yeah, I ended up doing that all bespoke and just kind of creating it myself / with Claude. This time around, I was like, man, there's certain things we can do to accelerate the development of the game. So I asked about game engines that work in a Next.js or JavaScript environment. So
like
it made some suggestions. There should be what?
I feel like there should be power-ups.
Power-ups inside the game?
Yeah, just on the easy ones. On the hard ones, you don't have power-ups.
What would the power-ups do?
Like, you would get like a flaming shot, or maybe you're very fast.
Oh, you were already trying to add crazy things to this game.
I know, like, as soon as like hurts, I heard the like. Here's
our game right here, JJ. I'm curious if it's going to give us. I asked for it to give me what's called markdown, and it doesn't look like it necessarily did. So I'm going to copy it anyways. But if it did, JJ, Mr. Singer Man. Okay, here it is. It did download it. Let's go ahead and put it in the code. You remember the code area we just in?
In Claude?
Yeah, when we were in this thing that's called a terminal. Okay, so we're going to look here. We can see that file is there now. Okay, now that we've done that, we're going to go back into Claude.
Well,
what is Claude again here?
AI assistance.
Yeah, and in this case, it's called Claude Code, and it helps me.
I don't get it.
Okay, we're going to do init, and this is going to create instructions for Claude. And because there's only one file inside here, which is that plan, it should just be looking at that one file. See if it's saying analyze code base and structure and architecture.
Connecting, search and connecting.
What's the rest of this? Checking the existing configuration files. It's basically just trying to. It's basically just telling us it's looking for everything to see if there's an existing. But this is basically a blank project with the exception of that plan. So it quickly check them all off.
Still connecting.
Well, what's that word?
Concocting.
Like a concoction.
Concoct your head.
Well, let's not do that. So it's creating it because it says, hey, there's a bunch of essential stuff in here. A lot of this, JJ, is kind of restating the gameplay that we talked about before. By the way, you're picking your nose on camera.
I don't care.
So things like state management for teams mode and selection, how to start the application up, sort of the implementation area. So we're going to go ahead and do this, JJ. We're going to say yes. What do you think we should do next? You can see it has a good idea of what this is.
Did it say schlepping?
You did say schlepping. But look, it's a 4-way soccer game called Quad Goal Soccer. Quad. What does quad mean? 4.
I thought quad was like quadruple. Now I get it.
That's right. So quad. So it's calling it quad.
Chaos soccer.
You know what's funny about that? We were calling it chaos soccer, but like I like quad goal because there's 4 goals. Did you want to call it
soccer?
You want chaos soccer though?
Chaos soccer.
JJ wants
chaos soccer.
Name it to chaos soccer rather than quad. Please. Okay. So we're telling Claude that right there. Okay. It's gonna say
spinning, calculating, spinning. It's spinning.
Okay. What does this say?
Working title.
And it changed it from. And change it from what to what?
Quad soccer. To chaos soccer.
Yeah, so this red line is basically saying it's deleting this line and creating this new line and making this little change. And is this what we want? We're going to say, yeah, this is what we want. Okay. Unraveling, updated. Okay, so it's updated. So what we want to do is, please create a project plan for us to create the minimum. Oh man, can I tell you I don't really like having to type this much, so I'm going to do this instead. Minimum viable product for this game. We'll get to the more advanced gameplay and different play types, but let's start with the easiest mode and create a project plan for that, and then we can always circle back to the original plan. So let's do that to get started, please. So I'm using this thing called
voice chat.
Well, it's specifically, can you see on screen?
Claude chat.
What does this one right here say?
Whisper.
Yeah, it's like missing a letter. Whisper Flow is the thing that we're using. So that way Daddy doesn't have to type so much and hurt my wrists. So what does it say it's doing right now? Can you see? The blue section?
Moseying.
No, not that part. Not the moseying. The blue part.
Analyzing.
Analyze existing plan to identify the MVP. Do you remember what we just said with MVP?
What does MVP mean?
Minimum viable product. What do you think that means?
A product I can buy that's minimal and viable.
That's kind of a good. Well, your teacher would tell you not to use the word to define the word, I'm guessing.
Yo.
But in this case, it means the simplest version of the thing. The product is the game, JJ. So we want the simplest version just so we can get started playing. So it's creating a plan for us right now. Okay, what does it say? I've created a focused version for Chaos Soccer. The plan strips down to the essentials. Key simplifications from the original. Only one player per team, not 3 plus a goalie. Okay. Simple AI that just chases the ball. No multiple balls or game modes yet. Basic visuals and controls. The plan breaks it into 7 phases. It says 12 to 18 hours, but literally this is going to take you and me probably 60 minutes total. Maybe significantly less than that if we just built, but we're going to break this into sections as we build it out. So should we go ahead and get started with this phase, or should we have it write the plan? Let's have it. Please capture the entire plan first so that we can revisit each of these estimated 7 phases as we go. Please create this in a new markdown file. So what I'm doing there, JJ, again, is just saying like, hey, please do these things for me. Although I just noticed that it didn't actually do it. Please create a project plan that we can use as a sort of repository for our progress. Something like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a plan and going through checkboxes is what we want. So we're going to do a project plan. So please create that for us.
I was going to say banana. So I just didn't say anything.
What does it say right there? What's that craziest thing? It says flibberty gibberty. Flibber dibber gibberter. I don't even know what that means. I'm going to guess that it means something like thinking. But it is creating a comprehensive plan for us right now, which is really good. Oh, you know what I'm thinking over here? We need help making a logo for our game. JJ, what do you think you want in the logo?
A soccer ball that's on fire.
We would like a soccer ball that is on fire. Do we want any particular colors?
Which is blue, since blue is the hottest fire.
The fire should be blue, since blue is the hottest fire. What color is the ball? Choose the ball.
White.
The ball should be standard white. Does it have like the black lines though? Or is it just a solid white ball?
It's gonna be the classic white ball. It's the classic soccer ball.
Classic soccer ball with the black checks as well, or sections. And keep in mind that this is a logo for a game that is a retro browser game. What's that?
Can you put it in the goal? Can you make it be in the goal?
And the soccer ball should be in the goal as well. Let's do a first try at that. All right, we're going to do that while it's going. So over here, while it was flibberty-gibberty gating, so on the screen, do you think flibberty-gibberty gating is funny? Okay, cool. It did some things for us. It wrote a plan for us, JJ. Should we take a look at the plan?
You should.
I'm going to open it just so that we can see it. So, like, there is a plan here. The pieces, field creation, ball implementation, player controls, AI players. I'm going to go ahead and put all of this in a GitHub repo, and I'll drop it into the video description so that people can visit sort of our progress as we go if they want, JJ. How much focus do you have left in you?
Not a lot. All I want to see is picture.
All right.
Pixel pictures.
Cool. There's because remember it's a retro game. Which one do you like best?
I like the one that it has more flame.
Is that the one on the left?
No, it's the one on the right.
Okay, well
I'd say that one.
Okay, let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna save. I'm gonna save this. Not like do it that way. Way fast. Okay, we're gonna put this in our 4-way soccer. We're gonna call it Chaos Soccer logo. Let's save these changes to Git repo. So what I was just saying here, JJ, is I wanted it to be able to save the changes that I just did into a remote repository.
Frog King.
Frog King.
Frog King.
Frog King.
Frog King.
Frog King. But what I'm doing, JJ, is saving it in a way so that I can work on this on any other computer or I can share it with other people. Pretty cool, right? Okay. Let's call it for the day. So what did we decide on the name of the game again?
Chaos Soccer.
Chaos Soccer. And this is our logo. Cool.